All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Shannon Strydom, obviously head coach of Chris the Wolf Thompson, Almighty Creed Moyo, and Frank the Tank Sotomela. Shannon, firstly, welcome back to SA Boxing Talk. How you been?
Good, thanks, Hayes. Got a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of exciting things in the pipeline, a lot of big fights coming up, which we'll talk about now. But yeah, I've been good. No complaints. How you been?
I've been good, but I've been noticing on social media that your name's just been tarnished by claiming that you had said that their boxer is shit, ridiculous, not going to make it in any way, something along those lines. I saw that. I don't want to drop any names, but I'd like to get your side of the story because I feel like, on your side it's been very quiet. You haven't really mentioned anything or responded to those allegations and posts. Just want to get your side of the story.
Okay, so plain and simple. They wanted to work with Chris, which they have. We got the John Rue fight with, we beat him. We got the Alexander Duo fight, we beat him. But their main thing is they wanted to work with Chris, but they didn't want to work with me. So, cool, no problem. But they wanted to, they're obviously upset with me because of things that happened back in the day with my dad. They don't like my dad, so they don't like me either. Cool. They don't like Colin, so they don't like me either. Anyway, that's all good. But so yeah, coming back to just after the fight, so they were like, there's a future for you here, but only if you leave your coach, Shannon Strydom, and we'll give you a trainer to train with. Sorry? Like, in what world, in which world does the promoter dictate to the fighter where you should train? And if you train with this guy, then we'll give you that fight. No, mate. Not in this world, at least. And a lot of things happened in between. I know they try to even go that far to provoke me that night on the show, and I'm humble enough to admit it. Yeah, maybe I reacted it with emotion, but don't provoke me. I don't care who you are. And anyone from that stable, fighters, managers, trainers, matchmakers, the promoter, you guys don't intimidate me. I tell you now for free. So, long story short, they didn't want to work with me, but they wanted to work with Chris. So they were like, okay, if you leave Strydom, then we'll give you this and this and this fight. People forget I was the best man on Chris's wedding. Like, he's just gonna dump me and go train just to fight on television. Anyway, long story short, I don't want to go too much into it, but that's kind of more or less what happened. They tried to dictate who we could train with, and because they didn't want to work with me for whatever reason it is, I don't care. Like, don't need jerks, to be honest. So yeah, that's basically what happened. And then someone of their camp went and wrote something on. It was the main fight, Sikibo against Malachika. I was a Sikibo fan from the start because I've worked with him back in the day, and I went and commented, "Let's go younger." Word got back to me that, your coach, after the fight, I'm gonna go up to him and laugh in his face. Okay, sat at the event, sat at the table, the fight happened to be right next to their table, and provoked me. Maybe I should have left it, but I went up to this person and I was like, what have you got to say? And like, what did you think of that? So I was like, well, they're both shit, in my opinion, and I'm entitled to that. And someone else of the camp came up to me and were like, did you say that shit, eh? You shit. And then we went back and forth. Anyway, they don't scare me, to be honest with you. But that's kind of what happened. Moving on, we won't be working with them again. We actually got a lot of things happening, a lot of things in the pipeline, some exciting things, which I'm actually I'll mention to you now. But yeah, that's basically what happened. They don't want to work with me. They want to work with him, but they wanted to try and vote me out. Not going to happen, mate.
Okay, so that's a very interesting thing because obviously in that sentiment there, basically your name is being dragged through the mud. They want Chris to go train with another person in order to get fights on their platform, which perhaps isn't the same as what it used to be. And now it's the enticement would be, if Chris wants to fight on the platform, he's going to have to leave you, and that's not what's going to happen. At what point did you guys decide you sit down and have a meeting and have a man-to-man on this and say, listen, we're not going to go this direction. We don't want to put up with this anymore?
So just coming back, I didn't attack the fighters. I love both guys. I think both are great. It was more attacking the person that was attacking me. So it wasn't anything against the fighters. So, and then we made a decision after the Duo fight. Word got back to us that you got to leave him. You got to train with this person. And the other person is actually a very good mate of mine. I'm not going to mention the name, but And then we just sat together and we were like, okay, maybe we should even train behind closed doors and where no one will know. He'll go to the press conferences and he'll go into the corner, but I'll still do all the training and we'll still take the money and still get paid. But then we thought, you know what, is it actually these people that are going to inconvenience our lives now? And like, yeah, I'm not going to let that happen. So we're like, actually, you know what, we don't need them. Like the days of there only being one promotional company in this country, those days are long gone. So we don't need them. We're just going to carry on. We've got I think it's no secret, we want the Sean Potgieter fight. That's the SA title fight. We want to become 2-time SA champ. Chris is very capable of doing it. It's a nice story. It's me against my dad. First time in history where father-son will go up against each other, and it'll be on Boxing 5 promotions. So that's the fight that's in the pipeline, and that's the fight we're busy looking at doing. So yeah, I mean, happy days. We haven't been happier. So yeah, we're just gonna march forward, and that's what we got our eyes set on.
All right, so that's an interesting dynamic. Obviously, Bridgerweight was a sort of a focus on the last fight, was obviously getting there back to heavyweights again. Should you put that fight together, and it'll be son versus dad, which would be great, obviously, for the boxers. I mean, both guys haven't fought each other before, so it'll be a good one.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's the fight that makes the most sense right now for the country. I mean, Bridgerweight was a cool. It's a cool division for Chris. We'll compete at both wherever the opportunities come from. It was also a nice way for us to get back to winning ways. Those last two fights, where one was in heavyweight, one was in Bridger, but moving forward, we want to win this SA title. We really want to win this belt, and then next year we'll see. We'll compete in the Bridgerweight division, heavyweight division, whatever makes most sense at the time. But for now, it'll be. Nothing's been announced yet, but like I said, I don't think it's any secret. We want the Sean Potgieter fight. They want a fight as well. Let's make it happen.
All right, so I think it cleared up that situation, obviously, that occurred there. People could get a better understanding of what basically goes on behind the scenes, and all the moves, and people only see sometimes what happens on the TV. But I wanted to go and focus also, since we're here as well, and in the background is Almaty Creed Moyo. Those two fights that are coming up. Almaty Creed Moyo, Faraday Mukandila. It's a very good fight.
It's a nice step up for Creed. It's a guy who's fighting with a little bit more experience. He's been around. He's I think it's going to be a tough fight. It'll be Creed's last 6-rounder. God willing, he gets past Faraday, which I think he will. He's been looking great in camp. He's been getting amazing sparring from the likes of Josh Veltman, Kane Furry, Boyd Allen. They've been giving him great work. The boy's really looking sharp. And come next week. It's next week. Come next week Friday. We're gonna putting it all on fight nights, and then we're keen to showcase our skills, and I predict to win another stoppage win. 7-0, 6 KOs, loading.
So a bit of a knockout record. Obviously he does hit really hard, and he hit hard at super lightweights, and now even at welterweight he's hit hard. Frank Sotomela, also a 6-round fight, but looks like he's fighting Sele, not the SA title just yet, which obviously was the aim.
Yeah, so I don't want to call it a stay busy fight. I don't like using the term stay busy, but it is a stay busy fight. We have put the challenge in for the SA title. We're not mandatory number 1. We're number 3 in the ratings, but the champion has got a voluntary defense. So, Nkosi Pile Sibisi, if you're watching this, please give us that shot. We really want to fight for the SA title. I mean, I don't want to say they've been running, but we've been making noise about this now for the last 8 months, a year. We want to have a shot at the SA title. Give us the shot. We'll come to KZN. We'll do a smash and grab there, and we'll come back to Joburg. We really want that shot. So, like I said, it's a stay busy fight. We're finding a guy, Tamsankwa Sele. He's been around as well, but it's a must win fight for Frank, and I believe he's been also on a nice knockout streak. So come Friday night, I predict another win, and it's another stoppage win.
All right, and what's really cool is on Colin Nathan's interview, he did mention there's a plan for Sivanati Nonshinga and Pumelela Kafu as well, which you will be obviously joined on the trip on the Kafu side of things, which is heading to Tokyo. How excited are you ahead of that trip?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think, it's the first time in South African history where back-to-back two South African fighters go back-to-back in world title fights 2 days apart. It's amazing. Yeah, shout out to Colin Nathan from No Doubt Management for making that happen and bringing the best fights to South African fighters. So you're also going to be joining, but you'll be in Nagoya. It's like an hour and a half away from us, but we'll make a plan to link up. And then I'm keen. Kafu's been looking great in the gym. He's been putting in good work. He's got great sparring in Sivanati Nonchinga, who's fighting Masamichi Abuki. It's just such a great opportunity for both guys, and I believe with the right game plan, which we have, both of these guys. Siva can reign supreme and bring his and defend his belt, and I really think that Kafu can beat Kosei Tanaka and bring back that WBO world title. So really keen for that. Second time in Japan, you're going to be joining us. It's a whole group of us going, so I'm looking forward, man. It's going to be so cool.
A complete sort of team on the road, and obviously for the whole of South Africa, all South African supporters should be getting behind our athletes. 2 world titles. One is a world champion already, Sivanati Nonchinga. The other is fighting for a world title, Pumelela Kafu. So big things on the go. But even locally, like what Boxing 5 are doing, they're building up the younger generation, and we're seeing guys getting close to SA titles. Mati Creed Mo, there's discussions for an IBF Africa potentially early next year.
Yeah, so that's the goal. Obviously want to get past Faraday, and then I said to Creed, like, we had a plan from the start when we started. I said, this is how many fights we're going to have. God willing, you win all of them. The eyes are on that IBF Africa welterweight title. So all eyes on Faraday next weekend. We beat him, and then we can probably have an 8-rounder early next year, and then we need to go for that. We need to go for that belt. Same with Frank. Like, he gets past Sele, we want to challenge for that SA title, and then we just have a lot of youngsters coming through. Josh Feldman, Katlego Kanyisa having an 8-rounder. He'd probably move up in the ratings after this and contest for the junior lightweight SA title next. He's more than ready. If it's not the SA title, he'll also fight for a secondary belt, which is the IBF. And there's just so many great things to look forward to. End of this year, there's a big show looming. I don't want to it's not my place to say anything, but guys must keep their ears and eyes open for the end of the year. It's going to be a massive show, and the future looks bright.
Shan, I would be remiss not to mention your Cape Town trip as well. That's going to come up as well. Estia is fighting, I believe, Boyd Allen. I don't know if you're involved in his camp, but you're involved in Apex as well, as you got on your shirt right there. So talk to us about that event, because it's Fight Island in Cape Town, hosted by ML Boxing, and they look like they're doing something good right down there as well.
Sure. Shout out to Matt Leishing from Fight Island. I actually don't know what the promotion... shout out to Matt Leishing from Fight Island. It's honestly, what you guys are doing, it's great. I'm keen to be there. Keen for the fights, and then keen for the after party afterwards. It will be Este will be in action. He's fighting a 4-rounder against a guy from Cape Town, I think. Keen to do a number on him, and then obviously Boyd Allen back in action after 2-3 years. So really excited to have him back. I've been seeing him train every day. He's putting in the work. He's looking great, looking good in sparring. So they're doing really great things in Cape Town, and hopefully there's longevity with it, and there'll be more shows like that. And just grateful to be a part of it.
I wanted to get your thoughts on Jackie Bryce was in the gym the other day as well. He's obviously another Cape Townian promoter, Western Cape promoter. Where do you see Western Cape boxing going? Because it seems like it is, if I go into BoxRec right now, Western Cape's sort of coming up as the rival to Gauteng in terms of number of tournaments that they're putting on.
Yeah, so it was nice to meet. I've known about him for many years, but it was actually so nice to meet him last week for the first time, Uncle Jack. Really cool guy. They're also doing great things for boxing out there. They've been super active this year in Cape Town. I think they're already on their 4th show coming up. And like I say, I just really hope that there's longevity, and if boxing people can just start working together, put the egos aside, people can start working together. I think it's just great for boxing as a whole, So really keen to be in Cape Town at the end of next month, and hopefully be featuring on one of your shows in the near future as well, Uncle Jack Bryce. So like I say, everyone should just stick together and make boxing great, like it was back in the day.
Perfect. And then Shan, just lastly, do you want to send any thank yous and your shout outs to anybody?
Thank you to you, Hayden, for always being on your A game. None of your efforts goes unseen. And just shout out to No Doubt Management, Boxing 5 Promotions, Colin Nathan, Larry Weinstein. whole of boxing South Africa. Keep your eyes on next week Friday, Boxing 5 promotions, box camp. Hope you get your tickets. Let's get it.